You open a bag of chips excited to eat. You look inside, and it's mostly empty. Half the bag, sometimes more, is just air. You didn't buy a bag of chips. You bought a bag of air with some chips floating inside it. Most people assume they get ripped off by this, tricked into paying for empty space, but here's the strange part. That empty space isn't empty at all. And it's not an accident either. It's not even air. The common theory goes like this. Companies pump bags full of gas so you think you're getting more chips than you actually are. It feels like a trick, a cheap one. That theory isn't completely wrong, because if you actually needed that gas removed and you squeezed all the air out of a chip bag right now, something would happen almost immediately. Your chips would turn into crumbles. So let's investigate. What is actually inside that bag? It's not air. Air is a mix of gases, and about 21% of it is oxygen. Oxygen is exactly the thing food companies are trying to keep away from your chips. Oxygen reacts with the fats in potato chips through a process called oxidation. That's the same chemical reaction that turns a cut apple brown or makes butter smell rancid after too long on the counter. If a bag of chips were sealed with regular air, the oxygen inside would slowly attack the oil coating every chip, making it go stale. So companies do something clever. Right before sealing the bag, they blast out the oxygen and replace it with a different gas: nitrogen. Nitrogen makes up about 78% of the air you're breathing right now. It doesn't react with fat. It doesn't react with much of anything, which makes it perfect for protecting food. Now picture this. Every chip in that bag is floating in an invisible shield of nitrogen. No oxidation means no stale taste, just the same satisfying crunch. That solves one mystery, but it raises another one immediately. Why so much nitrogen? A thin layer would protect the chips just fine. So why does the bag look like it's nearly half full of gas? Potato chips are one of the most fragile foods on the planet. They're thin, they're brittle, they shatter under almost no pressure at all. Think about the journey a bag of chips actually takes. It gets packed at a factory, loaded onto a truck, shoved onto a shelf, thrown into your shopping cart, tossed into the trunk of a car, and somewhere in there, another bag or a gallon of milk probably lands directly on top of it. Take a sealed bag of chips and press down on it. Notice how it gives, then pushes back. That resistance is doing real work. It's the reason your chips survive a truck ride across an entire state and still come out whole. If the gas is protective, why does the amount of it seem to vary so much? Why do some bags look barely half full? This is where food companies use a term you've probably never heard: slack fill. Slack fill just means the empty-looking space in a package that isn't filled with product. Some slack fill is functional, like the nitrogen cushion we just talked about. And that weight is the part that actually matters. In most countries, chip bags are sold by weight, not by volume. The label doesn't promise you a certain amount of space filled with chips. It promises you a certain number of grams or ounces of chips. Companies are legally required to hit that number, so the size of the bag can shrink or feel misleading. But the amount of chips inside has to stay honest. That wasted space you've been annoyed at your whole life is the exact reason your chips didn't arrive broken. Without it, you'd be opening a bag of edible crumbs. Turns out, the emptiest part of the bag is actually the most important. More videos coming soon. Subscribe to stay tuned.